Pushing exercises are when you're moving the weight away from the body, and on the contracting phase or the concentric phase, you're shortening the muscles and then lengthening on the eccentric phase when you bring the weight closer to the body. So front-loaded squat here, 2 dumbbells or 1 held vertically, heavy in the heels and hips, making sure the knees track the second toe and the chest stays nice and lifted, bracing the weights at the chest, thereby helping to brace the core as you fire up slow and controlled on the lowering phase, and then firing up for 1. Inhale on the lower down and exhale on the up. Notice how he brought the weights up using his legs and then set it up right over his shoulders, wrist over elbow as he lowers down. He's high on his shoulder blades. There is that slight arch in the low back to support most of the way on that upper back, and then inhaling on the lowering phase, exhaling on the press itself. Leg press here, feet are tracking as wide as hips or wider, and toes can be facing forward or slightly turned out to accommodate the hips. And you want to make sure that the integrity of the spine is on the platform. Head may be lifted off the bench to brace the core a little bit more and pull the ribs down to support the low back. But make sure that the tailbone is not rounding. And then you'll fire up on 1 and then lower with 3. Here, it's a seated alternating shoulder press. You want to make sure that you lower down with control here, wrist stacked over elbow, and slightly at 45 degrees to the shoulder, so the elbow slightly in front of the shoulders, sitting up nice and tall, and plenty of support on that upper back on the bench. Next up, you have reverse lunges, shoulders down and back. You're stepping way back to accommodate the knee predominantly over the ankle, or just not going past the toe in this case, and the weights are held by the hips, and you're alternating sides. Tricep rope press down, shoulders again down and back, slight hinge in the hips, knee bend, and from 90 degrees, you're extending at the elbow, squeezing the triceps on the way down, and then slowly controlling the weight up just to that 90-degree position. You want to anchor the core and stabilize the torso. Next up, seated calf raise. Set the pad up above the knees, should be sitting on the quads, and more than likely knees will rest over those ankles. You're on the balls of your feet. You're rising up to the balls of the feet, then squeeze the heels in towards midline slightly at the top, and then lower down with control. Keep your chest nice and tall. You're not rocking back. You're just drawing your knees toward your chest. Here you have dumbbell lat raises, shoulders again down and back, strong, stable core, and raising the dumbbells up to shoulder height with a soft elbow bend, maybe even slightly in front of the shoulder. Make sure those wrists are neutral and you're just coming to shoulder height, keeping that chest nice and tall. You're not swinging or rocking.